We're not the Christian church. We're not out here to get numbers. We are out here to save souls. It's not about numbers. It's about real men of God.
I'm going to show you what the Most High told us to do on the Sabbath. Give me Luke 14 and 20. What you're doing right now is what the Most High commands each and every black, Hispanic, and Native American man to do. We are out here raising up the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Which are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read that.
No, we're the propitiation of our sin.
And he is.
Jesus Christ is the propitiation of our sin.
That's right. Bring it up.
So that's the kind of nonsense we're talking about. Of God.
The what?
Oracles of God.
This Bible was only given to the children of Israel.
That's right.
It was not given to any African. It was not given to any Egyptian. Give me Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Because according to the Bible, we are at the bottom of society because we do not keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
It is high time that we wake up out of sleep.
Neither keep they the king's law.
And they don't even keep the king's law. Because guess what? Just because the so-called white man says Sunday is the Sabbath, we say, no, that's not true. The Sabbath is on Saturday, and we're going to keep it on Saturday.
That's right.
And we're going to write up a written document saying I'm not working on the Sabbath. Because we're different from everybody else. We're not going to do what everybody else. We're not going to sing and dance like the white man has told us to do over 400 years. Chapter 1 and verse 20. Knowing this verse, that no prophecy of this scripture is of any private interpretation.
Now, while I'm with them, they start trying to say, well, there's different versions of the Bible. And make it seem like, well, this version of the Bible say one thing, that version of the Bible say. Hey, well, the more about that, nothing to do with the Bible. Well, yeah, they say the Bible does what? If you read the Bible, and you read the first thing, but look, this don't have nothing to do with the Bible. Watch that.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 20. Knowing this verse, that no prophecy of this scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy cannot at all time by the will of man.
The Bible was God, not by the will of man. We start saying, well, I can create my own Bible. No. God is God. You think he can't control his word? That man is so powerful that God cannot keep his word intact. Impossible. That's how we know today that we ain't African American.
Right.
That we the Israelites. You ain't black. Sister. You ain't white. Look at the Jew. The word African American. The name comes from two white men. They say it comes from two white men. The name Africa is the name of a white man. Leo Scipio Africanus. The name America. Brother, I know you understand you ain't no African American.
Oh, yeah, you see these guys?
That's the name of two white men. It's actually a derogatory term.
I know you see these guys over here.
Because Africa comes from a white man named Leo Scipio Africanus. He named that continent after himself.
Right.
America is named after American Vespucci. A white man that came on this land and named it after himself.
I'm standing right here.
Two white men can't make one child, let alone black people. So when we call ourselves African American or subscribe to it, it shows our lack of knowledge. That we don't consider nothing. We just go with the flow. But so that name came up during slavery. Before slavery, who were we? That's not it. If you read the Bible, it's crystal clear. We were the Israelites. The so-called African Americans are from the tribe of Judah. We're the true Jews.
Right.
If you the so-called Haitians, those things go back to what the Levites. How we know all this? Because it's in the Bible. And with the Bible, lines up with what? Historical facts.
Bring it up.
They have a big sand in the earth. They have a huge sand in the earth. Tell me if you know it, brother. If you want to have anything from a Negro, where you put it? In a what? In a book. It's known in the earth that if you want to have anything from so-called black men, Hispanic men, Native Indians, put in the book. That's right. They're not going to read. And if they do read, what kind of books do our people read? Jet magazine, a lot of pictures, very little words. Ebony magazine, a lot of pictures, very little words. Sports magazine, and the list goes on and on. Because they know we are conditioned not to read, let alone comprehend. But guess what? The Most High God said in the last days He was going to pour out His Spirit. And information that you never heard in your life, that you will never hear in the Christian church, that you will never learn in college or in any school, He was going to reveal it. Where we get this stuff from? A lot of our people, we're out here singing and dancing, we'll have a crowd. We've been conditioned to run away from knowledge. We want to be entertained. Show me a movie. Show me a picture. Don't read to me, I don't want to read. Don't try and teach me, I don't want to learn. But God said in the last days He's going to raise up men with His Spirit to show His chosen people. We're in the last days. Time is short. A lot of folks don't know that. They think us being oppressed, shot down in the streets, being killed, being number one in STDs, number one in divorces, that's going to be our culture forever. That's never going to change. And we always have to be trying to move up the rough side of the mountain. Now, this has a time clock on it. Christ is coming back to restore His kingdom with His chosen people.
That's right.
In the Bible. So what do we all want back to? Give me Proverbs 1. Start at verse 1. What are we out here teaching? We first are teaching you your nationality. You have to know that you're not a nigga no more. That you're not a Mexican. That you are God's chosen people. And when you understand you are God's people, you now understand you have to keep God's commandments.
That's right.
We are on the bottom of society for breaking God's rules, brothers, sisters. We are not doing what God say do. And us being the chosen people, He's punishing us. Just like if your child disobeys you, what you gonna do? Nothing. Every time you tell your child to do something, they do it, what's gonna happen? You have to discipline them, right? You have to. Because they have to do what you say do. God commanded us to keep His commandments, to live a certain way, eat a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way. And we are not doing it. We are following the ways of everybody that's not God's people. We're going to read that.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 20. Wisdom cries without. She uttered her voice in the street.
So guess what? We've been taught that the wisdom is what? In the school system, in some college system. That wisdom is inside somebody's church, in somebody's Muslim mosque. But God declared what wisdom was going to be, read again.
Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the street.
In the what?
In the street.
No, in the church.
In the street.
No, in the college.
In the street.
God said that His wisdom is going to be out here on the streets. Why would God's wisdom be on the streets? Because that's where His people will be.
That's right.
Going to work, coming from work. Going to school, coming from school. Going to church, coming from church. He's going to catch you out on the street.
Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the street.
Read.
She cried in the chief concourse in the opening of the gate.
So the wisdom of God is going to be crying out in the streets and the chief concourse. Chief means high place. High place where a lot of people live. So the word of God is going to be where the bulk of His people are. Wherever a whole lot of blacks and Hispanics are at, that's what God's going to send His word in.
That's right.
God ain't waiting for you to come into no building. He's going to come where you at.
That's right.
So He's blaming you. That's why. Well, Lord, I never knew that church over there. I don't live over there on that side of town. No, my word is going to come and meet you right there on the street. When you're coming and going. So you don't have no excuse. You can't say, I never heard this, God. Yeah, I saw them brothers, but they had some weird clothes on. I really want to pay attention. The Most High is marking you, brothers. Y'all better take heed to this. Take this information and examine it. Watch this. Don't take my word for it. Look into that information and see if it's not the truth. Read.
She cried in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gate, in the city.
In the city. Read.
She uttered her words, saying.
So wait a minute. The wisdom of God. Is the wisdom of God that we tell you about money, prosperity, how much He gonna bless you, how much this is your season? Is that the wisdom of God? What is wisdom gonna be saying?
Saying, how long ye simple ones?
What is wisdom gonna be saying?
How long ye simple ones?
The wisdom of God is gonna be asking you a question. How long is you gonna keep doing sin? Simple means to be without understanding. God's wisdom, His scriptures gonna be like, how long, brothers, you gonna keep doing what you wanna do and not what He said? How long, sister, you gonna keep doing what you wanna do and not God said? That's what His wisdom is gonna be saying on the streets. Read out.
How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
How long is you gonna love things that God hates and not what He loves? How long you gonna keep loving simplicity? Celebrating Christmas is simplicity. Going to the so-called Christian church is simplicity.
That's right.
Being in a Roman Catholic church is simplicity. Being in a Muslim mosque is simplicity.
That's right.
Believing that you are African American is simplicity.
Right.
Believing that you're anything but the Israelite is simplicity.
That's right.
How long are you gonna keep loving it? How many brothers do we have to send out on the street to show you that you're not African American? That Jesus is not white? That you are God's chosen people? That is the reason why we're being shot down. It's the reason why we're on the bottom of society. How long? Read.
And the scorners delight in their scorn.
Now guess what? A lot of times we get people out here and be like, man, to hell with y'all, y'all racist. Without examining what we're talking about. Just because what we're saying don't sound appeasing to the ears. Because it goes against what we've been conditioned to believe. We cannot continue to be this stupid, brothers and sisters.
Right.
The time of being dumb is gone. You don't have no excuse. The cloak is gone. You say, God, I didn't know. That's done now. He's gonna make sure His man is out there in the chief concourses, in the streets, preaching His wisdom.
That's right.
May I
Don't be
have
blameless.
a
We
or
don't.
I have to wait?
And fools hate knowledge.
That's where you want to make sure you don't fan yourself, my brother. Fan yourself, my
Do
sisters.
a pamphlet?
God said somebody, and I pray the Most High God, you go back and look into it.
Right.
Don't take my word for it face value. I'm telling you that. Don't take my word face value. Look into the information. Prove and see if I'm lying or telling the truth. That's one thing we never did with religion. That's one thing we never did in the educational system. We heard it and we believe it. I'm telling you to prove what I'm saying to be wrong and true. Read.
And fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof.
So guess what? The Most High God is reproving us. Reproving means correctness. Brothers, we stood on the same side that you was on. Sisters, we got sisters that stood on the same side you was on.
Right.
Don't think we always knew that we was Israelites, that we always knew that Christmas was no good, that Thanksgiving was no good. All of us celebrated that. But the question gotta be why you don't do it no more. What is your foundation proof to not keep doing it?
Bring it up.
My brother, my sister, we can show it to you.
That's right.
We can show it to you, proof, not just words. We can prove to you that you are the true Jew, that you are the Israelite.
That's right.
We can prove to you that Jesus Christ is so-called black. We can prove to you that He's not white. We can prove to you that all religions are garbage and against God's word. The thing is what do it mean to you? Hold that, get the Psalm 94:16.
Stop.
Is it that important to you, brother? Is it that important to you, sisters? Your salvation, while you rest eternally, is it that important to you? Oh, it's what you're doing right now, how you living right now, how you getting it, more important than what God is talking about. Read that.
Psalms chapter 94 and verse 16. Who will stand up for me against the evildoers?
Read that again, nice and slow.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
God is posing the question, who's going to stand up for me? Who's going to stand up for God? We real easy to stand up for something political. We'll stand up for our own personal cause, something happens to your family. You're out on the streets trying to get justice for your own family. But God is saying, who's going to stand up for me? And you cannot run across a so-called black or Hispanic who won't tell you how much they love God, how much they love Jesus, how much they got a personal relationship, and how much they'll do anything he says. But God is saying what? Read.
Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
God is saying who's going to stand up for him against the evildoers? Who's going to stand up for him against the workers of iniquity?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.